All right, you're good.
Good morning, guys. We wanted to thank everyone that's on the call for joining us this morning. I see we have a varied audience, some Eastern Shore of Maryland guys all the way up to New York. So thank you guys for taking the time this morning to join us. Um, we've really been trying to give to you guys some of the resources that we have at our disposal at Lion, whether it be, sales tools, tech tools, using some of our technology to keep everyone at least educated and, gaining some kind of value during all of this craziness that, hopefully is starting to come crest and come to a, possibly an end. So I hope you guys are well and doing safe, your families alike. So my name is Ron Gibbons. I'm one of the business development managers for Ferguson HVAC in our Lion North group. One of my focuses with our group, aside from Mitsubishi, is to really blend some technology into our business and then extend that technology as either, efficiencies, sales efficiencies, operational efficiencies to our contractors. One of the products that we've been using over the last couple of months at Lion, and it's a 4-pay product, so it's something that we have bought into as a group. It's called Help Lightning. And what Help Lightning allows us to do is to provide virtual tech support to our dealers that's essentially live. What I mean by that is if you can imagine having FaceTime, which is one way on each side of the phone. What Help Lightning allows us to do is take those two virtual streams of communication and merge them into one. And Doug and John and Jim will go over a little bit of this, kind of what we're talking about and do some demonstrations. But what it really, the benefit to our dealers, aside from the normal tech support that you get with Ferguson, is it gives you guys, on the dealer end, another set of trained eyes inside the home. So it allows our technical support advisors to essentially look at what your tech is seeing on the screen, make recommendations, take shots, still shots, draw on the screen to kind of, to guide your tech onto what advice that we're giving him over the phone. Obviously, you can see the benefits with the climate as it is now. And we at Lion 100% believe that this is going to be, the way the future is handled to a certain degree, from a tech services side, and then also possibly from a sales side, and we can talk about blending this product in on the sales end as well. But what we predominantly use it for right now is a tech service tool. So Doug and John and Jim, like I said, are going to go roll through what the program is. We're going to look at some live examples of where we've actually initiated Help Lightning, and it is something that we will ask you guys to do. And as we grow and develop with this program, our goal would be to get these licenses possibly into the hands of our dealers. So you guys would have the ability to use Help Lightning to provide tech support for your own staff internally. So I'm going to stop talking and turn the presentation over to John, Doug, and Jim. Again, you guys have a good morning and stay safe out there, and I'll let the DSG FSR group take over from here. Thank you, guys.
Good morning. My name's Doug Zerby. I'm one of the FSRs with Ferguson HVAC, Lion and Conklin. And today we're going to be talking about Help Lightning. Just a couple housekeeping things to go over. With virtual trainings, we're learning, if you're not talking, it's best to keep yourself muted so we don't get feedback in the background. With virtual trainings, it's so easy to be distracted, whether we're on when we're on our computers, we're able to see our email, see different things coming in. So trying to turn some of that stuff off so we don't get distracted is always good. This is a very informal presentation. Please feel free to ask questions, to unmute yourself to ask a question, or to type a question in the chat feature. And we'll kind of go over how to get to that. As you're looking at your screen, if you're trying to get to the different features, what you can do is you're able to just hover over the screen. Once you hover over the screen, you'll see this bar come up. And as we look at that bar, the first thing on that is your camera. We can leave our cameras off. There's no reason to run the extra broadband with having cameras on today. Also, if you can make sure to make your microphones are muted, there should be a line across that microphone there so that we are muted. If you have a question, please feel free to unmute yourself, ask the question, and then please mute yourself again. If you are looking for the chat feature, by pushing on that button there that's highlighted, you'll be able to get to the chat feature. Then you can type the chat in, and then we can ask the question. I'll repeat any questions that are on the chat feature or anything like that. Just so you guys know, today's meeting is going to be pretty short. We're not here to take a lot of time, but just kind of go over the features and benefits. So the way support is being provided has been transformed. We're in a virtual world now that even 3 months ago, I don't think any of us would have thought we'd be in this shape that we're in. Learning how to do so many things virtually that we used to always do in person. And one of the features of that is trying to provide technical support. Now this is something that we have to initiate on our side. It's not something that a technician can just call in and go instantly to that. Is something that we're going to have to initiate. And that is through this feature called Help Lightning. And just to get us started here this morning, I want to just show a brief presentation of what Help Lightning is, what it does, what it looks like. So play this little video here.
At Help Lightning, we are reimagining the way industries give and receive help. This patented technology uses merged reality to create a virtual interactive presence. Virtual interactive presence is the merging of two real-time video streams, blending a remote expert with a local person needing assistance into a collaborative merged reality environment. Reaching beyond the limitations of simple video and audio calls, Help Lightning's interactive help sessions accelerate and simplify problem diagnosis and resolution. Simply put, experts can be hands-on and virtually reach out and touch what their customer or service technician sees in their field of view. They can telestrate, freeze images, use hand gestures, share pictures, or even add real objects into this merged reality environment. Almost every business can benefit from this extraordinary method of delivering help. The Software as a Service solution is available as an Android, iOS, and web browser app, and it can be integrated into existing customer care and field service processes and systems. Through virtual interactive presence, you can provide quicker response times and problem resolution, dramatically improving customer satisfaction. Remote experts can instantly diagnose, solve, and validate customer care issues, even from thousands of miles away. With Help Lightning, you can be there instantly.
Okay, let me just pull this off here. I apologize. Why is it not coming off? Okay, so with Help Lightning, as you guys see, it really is a merged reality solution. The nice thing with Help Lightning is that there is no hardware actually required. As we send out a help link to somebody, it's something that's just over the internet. You don't have to download any hardware, and it just comes up. It just works off the internet. It is compatible with both the Apple platform, Androids, with the regular computer. As you log into it, it's not storing any kind of digitalized content from your phone or anything like that. Some things to remind you that interactive, that intuitive interaction, we're able to actually come in and see, and you'll be able to see us move our hands into the screen or move a prop into the screen, whether it's like a meter or something like that. Some of the things to remember as we do a Help Lightning, let's say troubleshooting session, those are recorded. So it is something that is recorded that we're able to go back and look at ourselves, as we're trying to learn how to do better with this product, we're able to go back and investigate and see how we did or what we could have improved on, things like that. Internet signal is the biggest issue that we've seen so far. I know even just talking to guys, down in basements, the internet signal can be, their cell signal can be pretty bad. So it can make it kind of rough. Might be something where we might have to go to the customer and say, Mr. and Mrs. Smith, do you mind if we use your Wi-Fi, get on your internet so we can make the connection, so we can help solve the issue. Um, I think it's getting harder and harder as a technician. I know people used to always ask me when I talk to customers and say, well, where's the manual? And they say, well, I don't know. We put it away somewhere and now we don't know where it's at. Like, it's hard for all of us to know everything about every product. And as things get more and more complex, it's going to be harder and harder for us to really know what's going on, and to have all the information stored in our head. So we have to use technology to get the answers to be able to help us take care of our customers as we go forward. So what we're doing with Help Lightning is we're bringing that remote expert, that FSR, or if you're using it in your own businesses, maybe as your lead technicians or as the business owner, you're like the main technical support person. But what it really does is it saves travel time in some instances, that we're able to get somebody there almost instantly by using the technology that we have available. Most guys today have a smartphone or have a tablet or even both. And with that, it really helps us to be able to get right there to see what's going on, and to be able to, sometimes, let's face it, a lot of us are guys. I know myself as a guy, like, I am not the best at communication. I try really hard, but I'm not the best. And, depending on what I call something to what you're used to calling something, or as I'm trying to explain something, you're not understanding, or I'm not understanding what you're trying to explain to me. Sometimes, when you see that picture, they always say a picture's worth 1,000 words. I believe sometimes when you can see it virtually like this and actually be able to see it really does take any guesswork out. It helps us, okay, what I was trying to explain was, you see this thing on the right hand side, you're able to go in there, point to it, and actually be able to show it. So if
Doug,
yes.
so I was going to say, so that the guys understand how this is working, just with this and the initiation of it, and you talked about the connectivity of it. One of the things that would happen, guys, is that as a tech calls one of the FSRs in the area, we would then receive that phone call. Usually 90% of the time, it is not something that's per se prearranged. So what happens is that when we start getting into a service call, we realize that there's a level of knowledge, or the frustration level is climbing. It's I'm talking one language, they're talking another. We're dealing with somebody that's never possibly seen a TAM 9. We're looking at somebody that's out doing service work and they've never seen one of our defrost boards. And so with that, what we would do is say, listen, at this point, I want to kind of end the call with you right now, but what you're going to receive in the next few minutes is going to be a text message inviting you, as Doug's showing you here. You're going to receive this text message that you will then link onto. And at that point, we will make a connection. And then at that point, we're going to be able to visually start off with FaceTime. And then once we determine what the issue is, we get in front of the equipment. Then we will then go into the next level, which is the interactive part, that I'm actually able to see the equipment. He's able to see what I'm seeing. So in a sense, as you'll see, he holds the phone in front of him at what he's looking at. And yes, it's like he's taking a picture, but all of a sudden, information is coming on that screen superimposed over that. And I can honestly say that most of the guys that we've been able to work with this, it has moved the job along a little bit quicker. It has helped in their confidence to be able to do the work, to feel more comfortable, and they just feel that it's a good experience, because almost everybody somehow likes, how many people spend days, hours watching videos and clips and funny little things on Facebook. So this is just that same type of media where, oh, okay, it's visual, it's interactive, and I feel confident with it and enjoy it. So that's just what I wanted to add, just so that you understand that usually it's not like a scheduled thing, like we know you're going out. Now, if we knew that we were dealing with an issue, yes, we could preset it up and immediately start off with it. But 90% of the time, it's usually initiated after the first call has come in, and partway we break it off.
Right. And like John said, it is something you would get a text message to your device. And then as you open up that text message, you would just click on this link. And as you click on that link, it's going to bring you right into that Help Lightning virtual reality mode. And like John said, as we start a call, that call is going to be like a face-to-face mode, kind of like you were doing a like a normal standard video call, whether it's I can't even, like a Zoom call or FaceTime with your iPhone. It's going to be that face-to-face mode. And as we progress from that face-to-face mode, what we're going to be able to do is we're able to put in and give you help. We're going to push the little button, as you can see on the screen of the people. It opens up, and we're going to give help. And as we give help, it's going to change your camera from using that front forward-facing camera to the back-facing camera, that we can actually see what you're working on, and then we ourselves are able to see what you're working on as well. And as we do that, you're going to see on the side of your screen, you're going to see a toolbar like you see over here. You see this toolbar, and it gives you different things that we can use throughout the program to try to help you see what's going on and try to give you support. We're going to be able to give that help. This is what we talked about. Do we stay face to face, or am I giving help, or are you going to receive help? With our camera, we can actually turn the camera around. We can actually freeze a picture and or give you a picture to help show what's going on. We can draw. We can use an arrow to point in. So as we look at that, we're going to be able to use gestures. And with using gestures, as you see, we have devices showing onto a white screen. That white screen takes away the backdrop. And then as we put things into that focus of that camera of ours, we're able to get in there, and we're able to see you're able to see our devices. So like here, the guy's showing where to use his meter leads. Sometimes we'll put a pen in, or we'll put our finger in. Hey, I want you to look at this thing right here. We can actually point to the object. So that way, as you as the technician are seeing through your tablet, you can actually see where we're pointing, and you're able to see what's going on. We can telestrate or draw, with the arrow feature, with the different colors here, we can actually point to what we want you to work on, or where we want you to take a reading or a measurement, so that we can actually see, to help you see, to describe where to go. Again, as we try to communicate things, we're trying to use our words and our understanding, and sometimes, it gets frustrating, right? We're not understanding each other. This really helps us to be able to say, okay, here's what I meant by, I want you to go to this contactor and take a voltage here. We're able to go in and freeze a frame. Like, we can take a picture and say we wanted to focus in on a contactor. We can actually take a picture, we can blow it up, so we can make it look bigger. So you're able to see, again, what we're trying to talk about, try to make it as easy as possible for both of us. And we are able to share documents. If for some reason, let's say a wiring schematic isn't there on site anymore, someone took the service fax and it's not there, and you needed to see that document, we could bring that into the view of your camera. We can draw on it to say, hey, right here is what I'm talking about. We need to look at this low pressure switch, or how this wires through, or where to take this reading. So there's a lot of different functions that we can do to actually show and try to help you get the help you need, and try to be there instantly. Because sometimes setting up that job site visit, especially today, it's not a matter of we can just come out, or even for dealers, it's not always a matter of getting your top technician there right away. If you're on a maintenance, right, and someone gets stuck and you need support, well, now you're able to get that top technician there to be able to see what's going on, to try to help that younger technician learn and to move forward. So what we're going to do next is I'm going to actually show you guys a video of John and Jim, two of the other FSRs, just using Help Lightning to give you a demonstration on what that looks like.
Hey, are you John that I was just talking to?
Yeah, Jim, it is. And thanks for accepting my invite. What we're doing here is we're actually using a brand new program called Help Lightning. it gives me a chance to see what you're actually seeing so that this process can be a little bit easier for the two of us. Okay. So
Okay.
in a few minutes, I'm going to switch the screen around so that I can see what you're looking at, and then you'll be able to see the directions that I give you. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So let me ask you this, Jim. First of all, what brought you out to the job that you're on today?
Oh, yeah, real simple. No cooling. This is the first time the customer tried to do air conditioning today, and the outdoor unit's not running. The blower is running inside, but I have nothing outside.
Okay. And you do have a call from the thermostat to run the equipment, correct?
I do. It says cooling, and it's set a couple degrees below the room temperature.
Okay. And you did tell me already that you had the unit open and you're ready for me, correct?
I did, yes. Just a matter of where to put my meter. I usually do preventive maintenance, but the other guys, most of them are sick, and we need to take care of the customer, and I want to help, and I want to learn.
Okay, very good. Well, this is one of the ways that we can do this. So why don't you get yourself over in front of the unit, and then I'm going to need to look at that unit, and I'm going to try to point out what we call the contactor. Okay, that's what.
Oh, okay. I'm here.
And bring the equipment on. Okay, so let me give you help. You're going to see your screen change. Okay. All right.
Oh, there's my unit. Cool.
Yeah, so now you're looking at your unit and I'm looking at your unit. And so this is a heat pump, I see, because of the reversing valve.
Yes.
Okay, so right to the right of that, where you opened up that main component. Now remember, be careful. There is high voltage in that. We are looking for that. Oh, see that? Okay, hold on. Slow down. There is a contactor, what we call the contactor, just to the left of the capacitor, which is that round cylinder piece.
Yes, I'm familiar with that.
Okay. Well, I'm going to actually move my probes into your picture here. And I want you to take voltage reading, which is going to be AC voltage on. First of all, we have to make sure that we have enough, that we have our high voltage power going to the unit. Okay?
Okay.
Because
yep.
If we do, we want to make sure that we have voltage there first before we know that the contactor can respond. So if you.
Okay. Yeah, that was really neat. I could see your probes in there.
Correct.
Let me. I'm going to have my helper hold the phone, and I'll grab my leads.
Okay.
Just point it right that this thing's showing.
Yeah, because if he can see these probes here, okay, we're trying to get that picture. So back up a little bit so that it can focus. Okay. Right.
Yes, it's a little blurry. I don't know why. Okay. So here and here.
Right. And
I wasn't sure if it was top or the bottom. Yeah, 244.3.
Okay, well then that's a good reading. That tells me that we have voltage coming out of your disconnect on the wall to the unit. So we have the main power source, which should be able to run. Now I'm going to ask you I need you to switch your voltmeter to 24 volts, okay, or AC voltage, 24 voltage low, if it's depending on what kind of meter. And I want you to check between this blue wire here and the yellow wire on the other side and tell me if you have 24 volts present on those two wires.
Okay. Yeah. I love the way those your probes show up in the picture. That's really neat. Okay, so if you can see, I'm on it.
Correct.
And zero. I have no voltage there.
All right. So then that means that our unit, can you drop that picture down a little bit to that green board on right below the, okay. So see that green light flashing?
Yes, sir.
Okay. That tells me that the unit is getting 24 volts from the indoor unit to power the low voltage controls of this heat pump. So that tells me we do have voltage. The transformer inside is working. The low voltage fuse inside is working. But we need to now find out whether we have signaling coming through the thermostat to the outdoor unit. So can you find where the technician put together the low voltage wire nuts? Hold on a minute.
Oh,
Okay, hold on. Go back a little bit. I don't mean these wire nuts here. Okay,
oh no, that's
I want you
voltage.
to be over here at this one, these here. Those are the low voltage wires. Now you're going to notice that there's a two blue wires together, and then you have two yellow wires together. I need you to take the caps off of those two wires so that we can measure the voltage between those two screws.
Okay, there's the blue, and one of the yellow wires has a stripe on it.
Okay,
I don't think we want, is that the one we want? Or do we
No.
want the plain one?
No, usually the yellow with a tracer wire, we call it, or a tracer line, usually red or black, means that it's a two-stage piece of equipment. But we must always have voltage first on first stage in order to get the unit to operate. So we need to make sure
Okay.
that first stage is a continuous voltage coming through. So I need you
Okay,
to put your 2-volt meters, one right there on the blue and one right here on the yellow. Okay?
okay, that's easy.
Right there. Yep, that's really good. What voltage do you have?
0.005, nothing.
Okay, so that's right. That is nothing. So therefore, we are not getting the signaling out of the house. So what's happening here, Jim, is this. You have a thermostat that we think is putting out a voltage signal. We have an outdoor unit that's not receiving that signal. We have to find out whether the thermostat is truly putting out the signal. If it is, then we're going to have to find out what's breaking that signal. So I would suggest that what you're going to have to wind up doing is going inside, go down into the basement, go to the air handler and see if you're getting voltage between those same wires outside the air handler between blue and yellow. If you are, then there's something breaking the signal in between. If you're not, then more than likely it may be a thermostat issue.
Okay, well, this unit's actually up in the attic and I need to get my ladder, but I think you might be onto something. The homeowner told me that he put in a Nest thermostat sometime over the winter. I don't know if he got it for Christmas or whatever, but
Okay.
that may be what the problem is. He's not getting,
And it can be,
maybe he messed it up.
let me ask you this, because looking at this unit, it was a heat pump. So this may have not ran all winter. Did they complain about high electric bills or anything?
They didn't say anything, but you know, maybe they're on one of those electric budgets where it's the same every month anyhow.
Okay, yeah, and that could be true. If you don't mind, Jim, just in case I need to get back to this or save this, do you mind just giving me a picture of that snapshot of those wires again where you're at?
The two where I took a picture of?
Yeah, can you just go back?
I mean, sure. Let me take I started putting the wire nut on. So how do I do that? Is there this camera thing on the side here?
No, just hold it back, hold back, and I'm going to freeze it for a second, and I want to just take a picture here, okay?
Oh, okay. I thought you wanted me.
No, I'm going to take a picture of it, okay?
Oh,
Okay.
look at that.
And what I'm going to do is I'm going to do two of these because I want to make sure that you understand and I can send you this picture. These are the two colors that we're going to deal with when we get back inside, okay? And I can send you that picture. So let me unfreeze that screen now because we have saved that image, okay? And now all of a sudden, yep, I can see you and you can see me. You're now putting that back together.
Yeah, it kind of came apart. My helper went out to the truck, so I have to kind of do things on my own. But I'll put it together when we're done talking. I know where I have to go next and
Okay.
see if we're getting that signal upstairs.
Okay, sounds good, Jim. So far, I think we came across what the issue is. Now, if you get voltage all the way back out to this unit and you get it in those wire nuts that I took a picture of that I'm going to send you, or you saw where I circled it, if you get voltage there and you go all the way back to your contactor again, show me that contactor again, real quick.
Okay.
So if we come back up here, Jim, and we have voltage on these two leads here, and you say, hey, John, I now have 26 volts, 27 volts here, right where your finger is, and the contactor, that little magnetic spring in there that the clip, if it doesn't pull in, then you've got a bad contactor. Okay?
Okay. Yeah, that's easy. Very good.
And if you need me, give me a call back. I appreciate your time,
Okay.
Tim, and being willing to work with us on this.
No, this is really cool. I'm going to tell my boss about it. I really like this.
Hey,
It's a big help.
No problem. We'll talk to you later. You have a good
Okay.
day.
Thank you. Bye now.
Yep, bye.
So as you guys can see, sometimes being able to see the product in front of you, the unit in front of you, to be able to see the wire colors can really make a big difference. I know one time I was using Help Lightning with a technician, and we were trying to diagnose an older train gas furnace that used a fan center. And I was looking at the wiring schematic, trying to talk to him about where these wires are running, and the wires weren't lining up in color. I was trying to explain what they were doing, and I just wasn't able to communicate very well. I wasn't understanding what he was trying to explain. So we did a Help Lightning session. And instantly, as soon as I saw that unit, I realized that the fan center was replaced. The wire colors changed as they changed the fan center, and instantly we were able to solve the issue. Where, you know, for a half hour or whatever it was, you know, I was trying to explain to him, trying to talk to him, and you know, both of us were getting frustrated because it just wasn't working out. So like John said earlier, you know, there's times where this really just helps us to see, to be able to communicate. I really look at it as a communication tool to help us talk back and forth, to help us train, to help us diagnose, you know, just to help us do better and be better for our customers. So do you have any questions? Anybody have any questions about Help Lightning? Anybody want to add anything about Help Lightning?
One of the other things I was going to say, Doug, too, I believe that would be available, guys, just like Doug was able to download this video in like about a 24-hour period. We're able to download the video and we're able to incorporate it like into this PowerPoint. The other thing I was thinking is that oftentimes we get involved in diagnosing problems for the manufacturer. So if for some reason we were out there with the dealer, I could actually have the dealer videotape the issue, videotape what's going on. Let's just say the way the furnace is burning badly. And then I could turn around and send that to the manufacturer and say, hey, here's the proof. Look at what's happening. Look at here. And then that judgment could be made as far as, okay, that is a replacement situation, or, oh, we've changed the orifices, we've changed the burners, and we can get advice. So it is transferable in that it actually gives us eyes now to forward to the manufacturers that we're dealing with, whether that would be Mitsubishi or IR products. So there is benefit to it.
Yeah, and I'd like to add to that. You know, Doug talked about it, excuse me, a little bit in the beginning about, you know, being able to use your more experienced tech or service manager, install manager, so on and so forth, and have that person basically live in the home. And it really does add some efficiency into the business, to where, you know, you may feel a little more confident if you have less experienced service technicians coupled with this product than if you had those same service technicians without it, as you know, it just allows that extra trained set of eyes into the home.
Right. And I would say this, guys, you know, I know some people were saying, particularly in this time frame, I mean, you could see where it is very beneficial for certain situations, such as like that service call that Jim and I, you know, basically showed you. Now, could somebody said, oh, well, could that eliminate per se like a Mitsubishi, you know, field visit call down in Delaware for you, John? Some ways I could say yes, some ways I would have to say no, because there's just no way to, through the camera, to truly visually look at everything. And, you know, one of the things that you're going to understand is that the dealer's not going to know necessarily what he wants to truly show you. You know what I mean? And so we're not going to look at every inch, you know, line set. We're not going to look at every flare connection. We're not going to be able to look at all that's involved in that. But when we can start to pinpoint an issue, yes, we can address that with the camera. But you know yourself, when you walk through somebody's home or you walk in your own home, your eyes are glancing everywhere and you're picking up different things, and, different things catch your attention. Their attention and what they catch is not always going to be what we catch. So I think that we would still go out and do field visits, things like that. But I think if we were able to narrow down a particular issue, or if we had a really good tech that said, hey, listen, there's a problem in this branch box, can rather than you coming out, can we do a help lightning session with it? That's where, yeah, like, yes, we can. But if it was like, oh, we're just not happy with performance, that's a wider general problem that we really can't pick up on, say, a help lightning situation. Though we could then give them tips, they could go out and do things, and then we would narrow down the time of the call and the recording.
Right.
So,
yep.
But I think it's a helpful tool, and anybody that we've really actually worked with it, has in the long run. And it's funny, once a guy has used it with us, they somehow think that they can save that invite, and then every now and then they try calling me back on it. But if I hadn't sent out the invite, like, I can't actually receive it again, but they save that number now or that invite, and it's like, oh, I can get a hold of John virtually, or Doug or Jim, but it doesn't necessarily work that way.
Right.
But I know that once they use it, they do like reusing it. That's about it for me.
Anybody else have any questions or anything? I don't see anything in the chat. If you want to unmute yourself, ask a question.
So okay, I'm just trying to push this here for you guys. So in a sense, part of you guys are there's dealers here. There's some of our TMs. Like, I look at, okay, so like Rob, that there are certain dealers that you could turn around, and this is one of the features that we feel sets us apart from other distributors. And being able, first of all, to have FSRs, but yourself that, like, one of your customers is more oil propane based, and every guy doesn't have the same expertise as the manager and going out there. But to be able to go in and say, hey, you're always wondering, what are we doing for you? What are we offering you here? John, Doug, and Jim, and Lou, and the others will be available through Help Lightning. And so I know you can't always get your most experienced tech, or you yourself as the manager can't run out to that job. Here's a means of being able to do that. And it's just one more thing that we want to bring to the table to basically, to offer. This is what, and guys, this is not what I want to say, this product and this thought process is not a knee-jerk reaction to the COVID-19 situation that we're finding ourselves in. This was on the table way before this. This is something that we were, working on offering, and we're starting to use lightly. Now, all of a sudden, it's like, oh my word, we already have this tool in our box to deal with this issue. So why not expand it? Why not use it more and bring it to the table to our to our dealers, so that they realize that this is available to their guys? Because, hey, Joe's on furlough. This one's not working. Oh, I've only got this guy to go out. Hey, this is why we're here. This is what we're offering. This is a service that Ferguson, brings to the table. Try using it. So that's my dog and pony show for it.
Yeah, and I'll add on to that a little bit. And, I think what we're going to see after all of this, at least for the short term in a lot of our businesses, is doing more with less. And whether it's a tech that can sell, whether it's, an installer service manager that's a little more involved, after this all settles down compared to before, I think that, technology and the platform similar to this allows the dealers to be able to, to be more efficient. It allows us from a distributorship level to be able to be more efficient and to help you guys and to move through problems a little bit quicker. And, to John's point earlier, we've had this, and, for those of you on the call that have used it with some of our FSRs for a couple of months now, it just happened to coincide with, what's happening today in the world. And it really does highlight the need to not solely rely on technology to, do things differently than we had previously, but it sure doesn't hurt to have options to, in case things go south that we're not prepared for, to have, that in our back pocket and to be able to utilize some tools that could help your overall business efficiency, when you incorporate technology.
Any other questions or anything like that?
Yeah, we have one question in the chat, but I'll get that offline with Ben Rinker, so I can chat with Nate about that.
Yep. And guys, the chat question was about cost. And just so you know, like if we are instigating as an FSR, if we're initiating that conversation, there is no cost to you to use it. The only cost comes as you want to have it for your own company, so you can use it within your own company. That's where the costs do come in. So, and you'd want to talk to your TM about that.
Yep, and we can chat with you guys about that.
And honestly, as far as I'm concerned, I could see that with a tech. Okay, I can tell you that if occasionally I will get a call from one of our companies, from one of their salesmen, who will ask me, "Hey, John, I'm looking at this relay panel, and do you think it's going to be able to work with if I'm bidding them a new train 2-step furnace with a 2-stage 18-SEER air conditioner?" And it's like, okay, well, what panel are we talking about? Oh, I don't know. It's a this, and it's got these, this yellow color on it, and it's got this relay thing, and it says like a troll something, or, and it's like, okay, even, I'm getting to the point where I feel like saying, okay, Mr. Bidder, person out there doing sales, give me a call and let me look. Let's FaceTime. Let's use this so that I can tell you whether you're really going to be able to bid the right equipment for that job. Because the guys will tell you that a lot of times what we wind up doing is helping the guy that's in the field figure out how to install what was sold because there's not enough wires, those type of things. So I'm just, kind of giving you some insight as far as that's concerned. So like I'm saying, I would be willing to work with techs, or if you've got a salesman out there that's looking at a job for zoning, for, variable speed, whatever, we can always, look at what we can do to help.
Yeah, and that's what's funny about this is it started out just a product to help our FSRs and, our field staff, but it's really now, with all of this happening, has, morphed and changed a little bit to what we can use this resource for and how we can provide it. So, definitely allow us, if we, as Ferguson, initiate this, please, be comfortable enough with the technology and the fact that, we're trying to get to the end of a stream of questions and probably looking at something visually versus continually rattling off, troubleshooting steps might be, just in everyone's best interest. So if you guys have any questions, feel free to put them in the chat. If not, get with one of us afterwards. And Doug, if you don't have anything else, I think we've come to the end of our hour.
Okay.
In 15 minutes.
Thank you guys very much.
Hey, appreciate it.
All right. Everyone stay safe and enjoy the rest of your day, guys.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.